What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin, and I hope that you will consider Napa. Shush. I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing. And if you're not new, as always, welcome back. You know that I love you, and I am so very grateful that you're here. So today's video is actually going to be a little haul I recently did from Profusion Cosmetics. A lot of times I will film like a tutorial and put some makeup on and then film the haul, but I don't know, I was just kind of in the mood to film the haul first and just talk about what I'm excited about with these products and like before I try them out. So I have not tried out a lot of makeup from Profusion in the past. I had only ever tried one palette. I think it's called their Starlit palette, and I tried it in like a full face of makeup from Walmart video that I did over a year ago, I'm pretty sure at this point. So I wasn't super familiar with them, but if you've watched my videos before, you know that I am an affordable makeup, drugstore makeup lover. It's an obsession of mine, and I just love makeup in general, but especially when you can find something that's good without breaking the bank, like that really just brings me the utmost joy. And also because this year I have really been trying to focus on truly cruelty-free brands in the affordable makeup space. I've been trying to branch out. We all know I have an obsession with ColourPop. Like they are just my absolute favorite, but I have been trying to branch out a little bit with more affordable cruelty-free brands. I feel like I have recently been seeing a lot about Profusion just in like the Instagrammers and the YouTubers that I watch, so I really wanted to try out some of their things for myself. So if you're interested in seeing what I picked up, let's get right into the haul. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is, well, it's not only one thing, it's a bunch of things. They recently came out with a collection, I believe, called the Superbloom collection, and I did pick up quite a few items from that. I didn't pick up the whole thing, but I did pick up the items that I thought that I would be most interested in. And I am going to try to give you guys prices as well. I've realized in my videos that I'm always talking about how much I love affordable makeup, but I never really talk about how much items actually cost, so I'm going to try to be a little bit better about that. So first up, I picked up these two eyeshadow palettes from them. So both of these guys retail for $10. I did shop all of this stuff on the Profusion website. I ordered everything online, but if you're wanting to shop Profusion in store, I do believe that they are available at Walmart. I don't know off the top of my head if they're available at any other retail locations, potentially Marshalls and TJ Maxx now that I'm thinking about it, but Walmart for sure. But honestly, I have no problem buying makeup online. That's honestly how I buy most of it anyway. So, okay, so these two palettes are the palettes in the collection. We have this one called the Ethereal palette and this one called the Harvest palette. So here we go. Here's what this looks like. All their palettes do come with this like plastic covering in here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that right out because it doesn't really do anything for me once the palette is in my possession. Okay, so as you can see, stunning color scheme. I actually think this is the palette that I'm leaning towards using today. It kind of matches my shirt. I'm just feeling the vibe a little bit more, but definitely I feel like this one definitely gives me a little bit more springy, summery vibes than the other one. But this color scheme is also gorgeous. So this one is the Harvest palette, and being called Harvest, and even like looking at some of the shade names in here, like there's literally a shade name called Autumn, Harvest Moon, Gather. So I almost do feel like this palette could kind of carry you into the fall a little bit more as well, like that transitional time from summer to fall, but still just some gorgeous tones, lots of warm tones, a little bit more earthy. Honestly, I feel like the names of these palettes are really great because if I had to pick one word to describe the vibes that this palette gives me, it's definitely ethereal vibes. And then this Harvest palette again definitely does give me, you know, changing leaves, like September, October feels. All that to say, I am really excited about these two palettes. I hope that the formula is decent. I mean, just looking at them, they look really nice, so I'm excited to play around with these. So stay tuned. I'll do at least one video with each of these palettes, but definitely let me know if you're interested in seeing more than that. Also in this collection, I picked up the two little lip kits that they have. So we've got a lip gloss duo and then a velvet matte lip duo. So the gloss duo is called Lip Bouquet Lovely, and then the matte duo is called Lip Bouquet Amore. And both of these sets retailed for $5. So if these are decent quality, $5 for 2 lip products is pretty good. And I mean, they don't feel super heavy, like they don't feel like super luxe or anything like that, but at the same time, they don't feel super cheap either, like at least in the packaging. The little lip wand looks like this, so pretty standard like lip gloss, I feel. All right, and then lastly from this collection, I did pick up the lashes. I thought they looked really pretty. They're dramatic and wispy, but I feel like at the same time they're not too over the top, which is kind of the sweet spot of what I like in my lashes. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. These are called the Flutter lashes, and it says they are faux mink, and they do look nice and wispy like a faux mink lash. So again, really super excited about these. And this little set retailed for $4. So again, $4 for 2 pairs of lashes. That is $2 per pair. So if these do work really nicely, I feel like that's definitely a steal. Okay, so that's that for the Superbloom. That's that for the Superbloom. Why is it so funny? It's not that funny. Oh God. So next up, I have 2 complexion products that I have seen / heard going viral on like Reels / TikTok. To be honest with you, I have such a hard time with TikTok. I have such a hard time getting into it. So I'm always a little bit late on the viral trends. My fellow millennials out there, let me know if you are also struggling with this, but it's just like, I know that it's great for content, especially like in the beauty space. Like I know about beauty talk and all that stuff, but it's just like for me, I'm obsessed with YouTube. I live my life on YouTube. I don't care what anybody says about long form video. I will always love it. That's my thing. I love my YouTube girls. Like I love all the girls that I follow. And that's just always going to be my happy place. I also love Instagram. I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram, definitely, because it's such a time waster. But when Instagram was coming about, I was in like high school, college, and so I've kind of like grown up with Instagram. So Instagram really is just like the platform for me over TikTok, and I just can't, again, like I just have had a hard time getting into TikTok, and I just have a hard time adding like one more app to waste my time on. I mean, I know that I can like put videos out and stuff like that, but again, it's just like one more thing, and I'm having a hard time getting into it. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion, but personal opinions aside, I have heard about these 2 products specifically from Profusion because of the TikTok, Reels, Instagram world. So this is the viral Blush Hour Soft Matte Liquid Blush. I got mine in the shade Mai Tai. I only got one of these. I am not really a cream / liquid blush girl. I've been getting into the cream bronzer thing, definitely, but in terms of like cream blush and cream highlight, I'm just not quite there. It's not that I don't like them, but I just like, in my makeup routine, I never really gravitate towards them. But this at least being called like a soft matte liquid blush, I'm hoping that this will go over top of powder pretty well. So it looks like it's gonna be just like a nice peachy moment, which is my favorite. I will take a peachy corally toned blush over a pink blush any day. Okay, why can't I get this out? These look really nice. I mean, the packaging, how cute is the packaging, especially with this like rose gold sparkle top or like champagne-y sparkle top. Love that. And then this applicator is even super cute. I'm curious about this. It's like a nice little chubby sponge that you can just dot right on the skin. So definitely some high hopes for this, so I hope it works out. Okay, and then the other thing is this foundation. So this is called the Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector, hyaluronic acid, medium to full coverage, natural satin finish, SPF 15, and then it's got these little cruelty-free and vegan stickers, which is cool. So I actually saw Michaela using this in a video on TikTok on like the one rare day that I was actually on TikTok looking at beauty videos. I do think that she gave a good review and said that she liked it. So when I was shopping on Profusion, I was like, yes, I definitely need to try that foundation. The only thing is, I really was unsure about the shades. It wasn't like a terrible shade range, I don't think. Let's look it up, actually, make sure I don't misspeak on that. Oh, guys, I keep forgetting to tell you. See, I'm going to keep forgetting this. I just never remember to talk about how much everything is. So this blush that I was just talking about really quick is $6 on their website. And this foundation is $8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm seeing 12 shades on the website. The shade range actually is pretty abysmal. So definitely room for improvement there. I wasn't quite sure how to pick my shades, so I really just guessed. I will say what I do like about these is that it does give you the undertone in the name. So for example, I have light 1 warm yellow as my light shade, and then I have medium 5 with a warm yellow undertone for my tan shade. So I do hope these work. So I will definitely at least try these on in like one of the tutorials with one of these palettes. But if you guys would like a dedicated video to this foundation with maybe a wear test, definitely let me know in the comments, and that is something that I'm happy to do if you guys are interested in it. But if not, I'll probably just try it on in videos and just kind of wear it like on my own in my real life and just let you guys know when I develop an opinion on it. But either way, let me know. Next up, I picked up the Pigment Base eyeshadow primer. This is in the shade Neutral, and this retails for $5 as well. So this was just kind of like an impulse thing. I've honestly never really heard anybody talk about this primer recently. I pretty much just saw it when I was shopping on the site, and I was like, you know what? I'm buying some eyeshadow palettes. Let's grab an eye primer as well and see how it does. Like I said, this is $5, so I'm hoping that maybe this is like a hidden gem, but you never know how it's gonna be. So I definitely do think I grabbed this actually just for comparison. So for me, it was definitely reminiscent of my favorite P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 2. When I saw this packaging, I kind of immediately thought of this. So I was like, could they be comparable? Could this potentially be a dupe? I have no idea. I've never tried this, but I would be interested in seeing if that could be true or not. So definitely want to test this out. Also does have a little like new sticker here on the packaging. So I'm not sure how new this is or when it was released, but again, I'm just excited to try it. So on the box here, it says crease free and smudge proof, enhances color vibrancy and universally flattering. I mean, sounds good to me. And again, if it works and it's $5, can you beat it? Probably not. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter that it's $5. You know what I mean? Okay, next up I have their Wing It Superfine Eyeliner. I don't know if I've heard anybody talk about this or not. What interested me in this was how, like if you can see in the picture here, how fine tipped it is. I'm really not like a winged eyeliner type of girl. I used to do wings all the time, and then I kind of stopped, and I feel like now I'm just kind of not interested in doing them. I like a lot more of a smoky look. That being said, I do feel like eyeliner does add to eyeshadow, and I am trying to train myself to do it a little bit more often in my looks. So all that to say is that I'm interested in trying out different liquid liners just to see what I like. And this guy retails for $5. So again, like if it works and if we like it, then it's a steal. It's a hidden gem. So let's take a look. Oh wow, that is really skinny. So it definitely is a fine tip liner. I don't believe that this is waterproof, so that's just an FYI there. So let's just test it out on the back of my hand. I mean, that looks pretty dark. That looks pretty nice, guys. Okay. All right, well, we'll try it. We will try it. All right, next up is this lip set, and this is definitely a steal that I could not resist. So I feel like based on just like the packaging and the fact that it was on sale, I'd be willing to bet that this was some kind of like holiday set last year. So it looks like we've got one, what they're calling a sparkling lip topper here. So I'm assuming that's kind of like a glossy type thing. And then these skinny ones, there's 3 lip liners. And then it looks like, yeah, 1, 2, 3 lip liners and 1, 2, 3, 4 matte lip creams. Now, when I say this was a steal, I'm going to show you guys what it is on the website just so that you know that I am not lying to you. It's called the Kissable Nudes Lip Kit, and it was originally priced for $10 and it was marked down to $5.98. So all these lip products for just about $6. Would you say no to that? Because I couldn't. I had to. I think this was the last thing I put in my cart, and I was like, well, that's an automatic yes, because I'm not sure if these are permanent shades. Like, I'm not sure if these are shades that they have in their collection all the time. I definitely could check into that, but I just really wanted to try out this formula. So again, if they're good, it's a steal. If they're not good, it doesn't matter that they were so cheap because we're not going to use them anyway. That's kind of how I feel. Okay, so our last little section of this video is going to be on these palettes, just kind of in there. These are like their classic standard palette packaging. I think I would definitely venture to say that these are what I was probably most excited to receive and test out in this haul, because I've seen, like, over my years in like watching YouTube and stuff like that, I've definitely seen people talk about these. But recently Casey Holmes did like a Walmart haul, and she had a whole bunch of these products in her haul, including this eyeshadow palette and a bunch of these face palettes. She had these products, and then she also had a tutorial where she used a bunch of these, and I was like, okay, I need to try those out. I need to try more Profusion. So let's talk about the face palettes first. So I have 3 face palettes here, and I do believe that all of these run for $6 as well. So first I have the Highlight and Contour 1 palette. I do believe that they have 2 of these, and I think that this is the lighter one. And then just for comparison's sake, I also do have this bronzer palette. Side by side, you can see that this bronzer palette has a lot more warmer toned shades, and then this contour and highlight palette, obviously you have the shimmery highlighters across the top, but then these powders down here are a lot more cool toned browns as opposed to the bronzer, which have a lot more orange in them. To show you some more, you know, details here, this guy has the matte palettes down, the matte shades down at the bottom here, and then we've got our shimmery highlighter shades up top. So let me just go ahead and stick my finger in one of these. Oh, that feels nice. Let's do a little back of the hand swatch test. All right, slightly crumbly, but not too bad. And how it swatches really is not necessarily any indicator of what it looks like on the face, but I will say I did buy this because when I saw Casey Holmes use it on her face, it was like a blinding highlight. So I am definitely hoping that that's what we get out of these, because I'll be a little bit disappointed if not. And then let me just give you a little bit of a closer look at this bronzer palette. It looks to me like these bottom 3 shades are like true matte bronzers, and then the top of these have like the tiniest little bit of like flecks of glitter / shimmer in them. They're definitely not highlighters, but they just look to be like a matte formula with a little bit of something mixed in. So I'm pretty excited. I feel like this area is going to be probably what I'm going to get the most use out of. But that being said, these lighter bronzer shades are really great for kind of like diffusing your contour or your bronzer if you feel like you've gone a little bit too heavy. You can almost use it as a transition shade for your contour or your bronzer in the same way that you do it with your eyeshadow. So sometimes it is good to have these lighter shades even if they don't really like truly bronze up your skin depending on your skin tone. But yeah, so either way, I'm really excited to try these. I have heard multiple people, like multiple beauty girls, say that these are pretty good for the price, so we'll see. And then lastly, for these face palettes, we have this blush palette right here. So this is the Blush 3 palette. So it looks like this Blush 3 is definitely the peachy corally blush palette, which again is my jam. That's my absolute favorite. So I definitely can see myself getting a lot of use out of these shades if I like the formula. Last but certainly not least, I have 2 eyeshadow palettes. So Profusion does have a couple different sizes of their eyeshadow palettes, which is cool depending like on what your vibe is. I typically don't like super tiny palettes. I do like a little bit of a bigger palette, but that being said, I don't like a huge overwhelming palette either, so I kind of like that like right in the middle, but I do love a good mega palette nonetheless. So I have the Nude Bliss palette right here. This one is one of their 21 pan eyeshadow palettes, and it does come with a nice little eyeshadow brush in here. This one, I don't know if you can tell on camera, maybe a little bit, but I have used this palette already. I did post a reel over on my Instagram, so if you're interested in seeing the look that I did with this palette over there, you can follow me at DevDevGregs. So I did already use this, and to be honest with you, like, was it the most amazing eyeshadow formula or the most amazing palette I've ever used? I don't know that I would say that, but I also did get a really pretty look out of this, and I did really like the color scheme that I used, and I did feel like it was fairly easy to work with. So I mean, I don't have a fully formed opinion on the Profusion eyeshadow formula as a whole yet, but I do feel like, especially for the price, this size palette in particular retails for $12, so not terrible. I mean, that's pretty affordable, especially if you're maybe just getting into eyeshadow or you just want to play around with looks and you don't want to go spend $50 on an eyeshadow palette. I completely understand that. So definitely want to do a couple more looks with it and play around. But again, this is something that I saw Casey Holmes using, and I really like the look that she did with it. So I was really inspired by this color scheme, especially kind of like for the summer. This is a great like neutral with a little bit of pink and purple, if that's your vibe. There is one glitter in here as well. I like a pressed glitter. I don't mind glitter in eyeshadow palettes. I know some people have really strong opinions on that, but sometimes I do like to have a little glitter and just like pop it over the top of whatever look I'm doing. And the fact that it's a nice pink glitter, I mean, that is completely my jam. Like, pink glitter is pretty much the definition of my personality, so that doesn't bother me. And then I also picked up this one. So this is one of their 10 pan eyeshadow palettes. This is called the Classics palette, and I think it's pretty obvious why. There's some pretty just classic neutral shades in here. What draws me to this is that, again, like, if this works for me and if I do really end up liking this formula, this just checks all of my boxes for a go-to palette. When I am looking for like my perfect eyeshadow palette, I look for a couple things. One is a matte shade that I can set down my eyeshadow primer with, because I always set down my primer before I go in with a transition. That's just a standard part of my process that I cannot be without. Of course, you can always use your translucent powder or whatever to set your primer down, but for me, like, if there is a shade like this in the palette, added bonus, love that. The next thing that I look for is some good transition shades. So this one would be the first thing that I would use right in the crease if I'm just doing kind of like a go-to standard, you know, 4-step smoky eye or whatever. And then I do look for some deeper shades to be able to build up, deepen up, and make the look more dramatic. So the fact that there is a darker, like a warmer toned matte, and then the fact that there's also a matte black, love that. And then of course we've got these shimmers in between, so like some good all over the lid shades. This potentially could be an inner corner highlight shade, and then we've got just like some more like maybe medium darker neutrals to play with. So this for me just kind of speaks right to my love of a sultry, smoky eyeshadow look, and that is what I can see myself, like, I immediately am inspired to create a look like that by looking at this palette. So I was drawn to this one, and again, this is $6. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but this does retail for $6. So if it works, it is a steal, and I feel like this is definitely a palette that you don't have to think too hard about your look. You kind of have everything that you need, hopefully. When we try it out, like, you kind of have everything that you need right inside this palette. So that's what drew me to this. I feel like the whole thing with Profusion here is that if these products do work, because they are so unbelievably affordable, like, was anything more that, I think the most was this at $12. Other than that, everything was $10 or under, so like nothing more than $15. So if we do find stuff that works at that price point, then we find hidden gems, and it's a steal, and it's amazing. So that really was kind of my motivation for placing this order with Profusion, was to try to find some hidden gems. Alright you guys, so that's going to be it for this video. I am going to dive right into filming another video testing out some of these products right after this, so definitely stay tuned for some more videos coming with all of the products that I talked about in today's video. If you have made it this far in the video and you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, and you can also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future uploads from me. You can also follow me on Instagram. I mentioned it before, but I'll just say it again. I am at DebDevGregs over there as well, and I do post makeup related content. Instagram is a lot more of my day-to-day because it's, you know, it takes less time to post things on Instagram than it does to film and edit a YouTube video. So if you want to interact more day-to-day, definitely give me a follow over there as well. And with that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Mwah. Love you. Bye.